Good morning, Mrs. Elliott.
Good morning. Oh, creaky chair. That wasn't my bum.
That was not your bum or your creaky knees. How are you? It's Thursday. It's Thanksgiving.
Oh, it is. Let's be thankful for that.
Well, I'm utterly thankful I'm here.
Yeah.
For a start. I'm utterly thankful for our butters. God, we've had some beautiful reviews this last week.
Yeah. I can't see for beautiful reviews at the moment.
They're just flowing in.
Crazy.
It's like literally wading through a field of joy is what it is.
Is it?
Yes.
Would you wade through a field?
Would you wade?
I don't
If it was a
Trampling.
rice... Well, I'm thinking more of a rice patty.
Are you? It's not Paddy, it's Rebecca.
What are they called, the rice fields called? Paddies. Are they called paddies?
I think so.
I don't know, mate.
Paddy Fields.
Do you know, one thing I know for
Irish
sure
guy.
is I know nothing.
That is true, and I think that's going to become very evident in this week's
Exactly, because we're going to be doing cult. I mean, we'll get to this in a minute, but we are doing cults. And as we briefly discussed before the podcast, when you start researching cults, you go down a rabbit hole of terrifying.
Yeah.
I think I'm
bewildering, and you realise we are way out of our depth here.
I am literally in Australia right now in my rabbit hole.
But we'll just sort of lightly tiptoe through the field of cult. I don't know what I'm talking about.
You're listening to Don't Laugh Button, so sit back, relax, and let Kirsty and Rebecca sanitize your thoughts with their infectious twatterings.
Anyway, can I just start off by saying I got asked for ID twice this week? Kirsty, twice.
Oh, I've heard this.
And I knew you'd like this.
I've heard this.
One
I've been
of
told.
which was in front of your sister,
Yes.
in Waitrose.
Yes. I don't get
But I
it.
enjoyed that one because he wanted to see my ID, and you show your ID, and then he's like, "Oh, you're looking good." Oh yeah. The mask does wonders, right? But in big Tesco's, not little Tesco's this week, Kirst. Big Tesco's. She said, "Oh, are you?" No, she didn't say, "Can I see my ID?" That's the point. Mm-hmm. She said, "Can you remove your mask?"
She's not allowed
And I
to
wanted
ask
to show her
you
my
that.
ID because I'd prefer that. And then you get, "Oh." No, I had to remove my... And it was humiliating because at the moment I removed it, she went, "Oh, yeah, it's obvious now."
Did you?
I thought, "Oh, well, thanks a lot. Thank you." I felt like a superhero revealing my secret identity.
Oh, man.
And the person just going, "Yeah, put your mask back on. That's ridiculous."
But I'm sure she's not allowed to ask you to remove your mask.
They can. It says on signs, including little Tesco's, if you look under 25, we will ask you to remove your mask.
Well, that's a COVID risk if ever I've heard one.
No, it's not my fault that my eyes look so beautifully youthful.
But yeah, your mouth is hanging off.
yeah, exactly.
Wow.
Yeah, she scoffed when she saw the rest of my face, girls. She scoffed.
What was I thinking?
What on earth was I thinking?
Do you know, I'm slightly relieved by that, Rebecca Elliott.
By what?
That you've been outed.
Yes, as an old woman.
Because I love your face. Your face gives me so much pleasure.
Does it?
Gives me a joy.
Yeah.
Every time
Even
I see
my
it.
tiny, tiny mouth, which you spent a whole evening taking the piss out of, which was lovely.
Yeah, talking about that. I said to my husband, Darren, this is a bit of a Darren update.
Oh, let's have a Darren update.
I said to him, like, what do you think I'd bring to a cult if I was a cult leader? He said, "Well, you've got lovely lips." And that was it.
That doesn't
Of all the things. Of all the things that I could bring
Cult
to...
of Kirsty's lovely lips. That's a website.
I'm going to create it. Just my lips. Yeah. That's it. I've had a weird week.
Have you?
Because I was thinking, what am I going to bring to the party this week on the podcast? Not much,
And
mate.
it is a party. Yeah, for a very lacklustre one.
We should have party poppers every week.
It's a party where we're just hanging out in the kitchen going, something's going horribly wrong. No one's enjoying themselves. What do we do?
Let's bring out the vol au vents.
Yeah.
See if they know
Yeah.
nothing's going to work.
No, you don't.
Nothing's going to work.
I don't like a vol au vent.
Because I think I've not done much this week. I've been having to do extreme parenting. I think that parenting.
Extreme parenting.
Oh yes. Well, when you have
parenting whilst jumping off a mountain.
Let me tell you, I'm obviously entirely grateful that I get to do parenting, particularly with my son, because we nearly lost that chance. So it's always a joy. And I don't want to be flippant, but crikey, parenting can be a challenge. Yeah. And I think the biggest challenge
I find it easy. Said no parent ever.
No. And I think the biggest challenge with parenting is you've got to do it.
Yeah, there's no choice.
No one else can you just parent for me?
No.
Because, and
You
even
can't even take a sick day. Because
No.
if you're sick, you still go, Mum,
Yeah.
I've lost my shoes.
And even
if you're vomiting at the time, you've still got to find those shoes.
And you as a parent have such unique aspects as a parent. You can't even just rely on your partner to do it, because your unique parenting only works in certain situations. So they're like doing their unique great parenting. Dan's a great parent. He does equal stuff, but it's down to me for my USP parenting.
What is your USP for parenting? Couldn't quite figure that out.
Them. I don't know. I don't have one, but I think we all do. I think it's all in great. But so love being a mother. Love it. We'll do that 100 times over if you didn't have to parent at the same time.
Love being a mother, hate being a parent.
It's just so tricky. God love them. But no, I am utterly grateful they are here today. I feel super grateful that I get to...
all right, stop taking a piss just because I've lost 1/3 of mine. It's not my fault.
Oh, she always trumps me with the death trump card. Oh my God. No,
Not
you're
making
right.
light of it, just taking a piss at a Kirsty.
Yeah.
Making her feel awkward.
No, I think what you're doing is absolutely managing a horrific situation through humour, which I think is...
Now you've made it so serious. I don't know how to react to that. I can't react to that.
Just go, yeah, well done.
I can't do actual vulnerability.
You would be vulnerable. No.
Chance.
Do that. So no, but I did have it. I just do want to warn people, if anybody sees me shuffling along the street.
Oh, I didn't know if you were going to go here.
I had to go here.
Yeah.
Just because I think it's...
Why were you shuffling along the street, Kirst?
I'd had a little accident of the number 2 of Variety. And I
don't believe you tell people this. If that ever happened to me, and it hasn't since I was probably about 1.5, I would never tell the nation, frankly, who are tuning in. But kudos to you for sharing.
I think it's a public service announcement.
I mean, you have taken some medicine which made this happen.
It's medically induced. No. It's medically induced.
Stupidity.
So I'm on a walk for the dog, and you can feel it. Anyway, got to about 10 minutes before home, and it happened, ladies and gentlemen. I couldn't stop it.
It was an eruption.
There was literally... Anyway.
It's coming out of me like hot lava.
It was that bad, and there was nothing that the clenching could do. It just broke at that point and went no.
I would clench. I mean, I think...
I clenched. Nothing happened. Imagine the brakes of a car braking as you're going down the hill. You're stepping... Please, desperately stepping on that brake pedal and nothing's happening. You've got no control. You're just hurtling down the hill. All I'm saying is, if you see me looking like slightly distressed, walking up the road...
Then just don't breathe in near her.
Near me. Don't come near me.
I still think I couldn't let that happen. I think if there was a way of testing the strength and perseverance of our sphincters comparatively, I'm just saying I think I would win.
I think my sphincter is a strong one, but I think it has its weaknesses, and it just gave up at that point. It just said no.
Kirsty, I can't do it anymore.
Thanks. It was so traumatic, mate. So traumatic. But anyway,
it's now traumatic for everyone listening.
People
might be eating.
I'm actually starting to have cold sweats about it, because it's really scary. There's nothing worse than thinking, I am actually going to poop myself in public.
I wouldn't know.
But you do. You just won't tell anyone.
Nope.
Might have happened.
Never.
I'm going to see you one day just walking along. A bead of sweat just
you just tell everyone, look, Rebecca Elliott's going to shat herself. I was going to... there was a little news story this week.
Oh, what's there?
Which I found interesting. American actor Lucas Gage, by name, okay.
Hold on, is he
He's
Lucas?
not famous.
Is he Lucas Gage by nature?
Yes, by name and nature. Well done.
Well done, me.
He went for an audition via Zoom, because obviously that's the way things happen now, with a film director. The film director did not realise that his microphone on Zoom was not on mute.
Oh, no.
And the film director basically started slagging off this guy, Luke Gage's house.
Oh, no.
Yeah, he says, these poor people... Oh, he's American, isn't he? These poor people live in these tiny apartments, he says, forgetting to mute himself. I'm just reading the article here. Like, I'm looking at his, background, and he's got his TV, and his, I mean, he wasn't Southern American, but I just thought I'd had that. At that point, Luke Gage like cut in and just went, yeah, you know that you're not muted. And he also said, that's why you should give me this job, so I can get a better apartment. But isn't that, firstly, that's appalling.
Yep.
Secondly, just the whole nature of the Zoom situation we're in these days means that people are going for like job interviews and having work meetings where they've now got to consider, not only am I going to be judged for like my appearance and what I say, but also where I fricking live.
I know, right? It's
I thought
tricky.
it was interesting.
Oh.
It's another little
I'm doing lots
side effect of Corona.
Yeah, I'm doing lots of Zoom calls at the moment. I don't, done come some Zoom gigs and some Zoom things with the NHS for Sid.
Yeah.
And I had a team one the other day. It was really, they're very helpful.
Yeah.
But, oh gosh, when you can't hear, I realise what I tend to do is I put my ear right next to the microphone.
Do you?
But I think it's probably quite close to the camera. So
Yes,
all
that
I
would
can
be.
see
Yes.
is my ear.
Is your ear.
And I'm going, I can't hear. Just repeat that one more time.
You know there is a volume button, right?
I have it up to maximum. I'm not sure what's going on with my eye products.
Okay.
We talked about that, the whole judgment of the workplace, because obviously Priti Patel this week's been in trouble, wasn't she,
Yes.
and found to be a bully. And I love that Boris wrote, no, don't believe it.
Oh, it's classic. Yeah.
Independent inquiry. I just think,
If you've got a bully to get your job done, then you're not good at doing a job.
it's really tricky, isn't it? Because we always say, women when they're seen as assertive and cross are called bullies, so all shouting, and we say these things as women.
No, I think the whole point is this story is irrelevant of ethnicity and sex.
Do you?
Yeah.
Yes. Well, tell me
do.
why.
Because I just think she's been called out and proven to be an absolute bully, and that
Yeah.
has been proven.
Well, I think by an independent inquiry is the point. They are independent. They have no bias one way or the other, I
Yes.
believe. And I think that some of her language when she does her speeches seem quite like them and us situation anyway.
Yeah.
And I think, I mean, I think one person said it really correctly, is that bullying does happen in the workplace. If you feel your governments are allowing that to happen, then it does question, doesn't it, if you feel safe within one workplace. I mean, I sometimes feel bullied here, I'm not going to lie.
Well, that's fair. I'm just keeping you in line. You just need a stern hand. It's to help you. You're in the cult of Rebecca Elliott. I'm here to help you.
Darren did say, I wonder if people
You will
see...
reach enlightenment if you do what I say.
Let's go into cults. Let's do it right
do it.
now.
Start the show.
Darren Hudson did say, I wonder if people think that we're in a cult, you and I, the cult of us.
You and Darren?
No, you and I.
Oh, me and you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
At the very least, lovers.
No, I would say at the very most are not true lovers. That's not like the least. That's not like that's a given, obviously. But what else is happening? No, Kirst, no, we've discussed this. Okay.
No.
It's not going to happen.
No,
you
hit
need to
me.
get that through your head.
I
I
think-
mean, people do tune in because it's a bit of a Ross and Rachel thing. Will they, won't they? But no.
I'm holding on to that. I think that the whole thing... Oh, I've got it here. I think that what I'm saying is that people could say, are they a cult? Are
Well,
they...
the broader point, and I think, I'm going to try and dig out your broader points from your pathetic ones, is friendship.
You're gonna struggle.
Is friendship a cult? And are relationships a cult in and of themselves?
Oh,
in a
are
way?
they?
Particularly if you have one more powerful than the other, but I don't think we have that. But you do have your own little specific ways of thinking and doing things, but that's not a cult. That's not a cult.
Is a marriage a cult?
Well, I think we should start by defining what a cult is.
Oh, I've
first.
got that, mate.
Yeah, but there's a few different
It
descriptions.
really is.
Yeah,
And they can make
it's-
it contradictory.
So one said that a cult is a group or movement held together by a shared commitment to a charismatic leader. I mean, so far, us and me, obviously, or ideology. It has a belief system that has the answers to all of life's questions,
Yes.
which I do,
Clearly.
and offers a special solution to be gained only by following the leader's rules.
We are definitely in a cult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I do think that there are analogies there to family and possibly couples. I think we grow up in a little bit of a cult of our family.
Oh, definitely. My family is definitely a cult, and my children are the leaders.
Oh, that's wrong.
Oh, I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why they're the leaders. Because with cults, there's usually a monetary aspect as well.
Do they give you money?
No, they take mine.
Okay.
Okay?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
They literally take all my money. Okay? They also, think, well... I say, they manipulate me is what they do. Rebecca Elliott. think kids all do manipulate all their parents, you know. I mean,
I was going to say it's the other way around. That when kids are little, like really little,
oh, of course,
then they do grow up with the parents being like the leader, and they look up to them for sort of comfort and what to believe and how to act. And if they act in a certain way, they get rewarded.
And as they get older,
and obviously as they get older, they start to sort of to question that, and that's normal. But people who join a cult are sort of looking for an extension of that. They're looking for that comfort. They're looking for someone to tell them, if you do this and act like this, then I will give you shelter and comfort, and you're doing the right thing.
And they're looking for assurance. They're looking for an outcome to those problems. And like, life is utterly confusing at the best of times to most of us. And I think that what they're doing is giving meaning. Cults generally have, even though you have one leader generally within a cult, it's generally a man. Women are too busy doing dishes, you know.
Obviously, as well they should be.
Absolutely. Maybe a bit of mopping, light dusting and some ironing. But they always have a higher power. It could be like a UFO. It's often a UFO. It's often alien in cults.
Is it?
Yeah, it's often alien.
Oh, okay.
From all the research I've been doing in my 45 minutes at least.
I thought it was usually God in some way or another.
But I think that it doesn't really matter because they're still seen the same way. Whether it's a UFO, whether it's an alien kind of type power or a God type power, they still have the answers.
There's some outside
it kind of doesn't.
Power.
It just seems to be irrelevant.
And the sort of charismatic leader has a direct line to the knowledge that's been imparted to them.
Yeah, but the through line with all the cults is they have the answers to a meaningful life.
Exactly. Yes, I was going to say that. And so people who join a cult, it does often come from sort of good intentions. They want a meaningful life. They want to serve either God or humanity.
Absolutely.
And often they want to be successful, because obviously we've both watched the documentary called
The Vow, which is where this came from. And I know that I would never have joined that because they've spelt the name wrong. I mean, it's called Nexium, their cult, I believe.
Yeah, but it's like
it's spelled
N-I-V.
It's just spelled very wrong.
It's wrong.
So I'd have gone, well, they don't even know how to spell.
Yeah, but you're dyslexic, so there's no way.
I know, but I'd have gone like...
to fill out the form to
I know,
to
but
join.
I'd have said, well, they've spelled that wrong. What do they know about the meaning of life, my friend?
Exactly.
What do they know?
But what is interesting about the Vow and Nexium is that that's not based on religion at all. That God's not mentioned at all. It was literally just about this guy who was sort of a self-help guru.
Well, he actually went the opposite way in this more of the scientific model.
Yeah, it's a little bit like Scientology.
Yeah.
But a lot of his ideas did kind of seem to work and sort of seem to help people grab a hold of their lives and be more successful. But then it obviously skewed off into an entirely different direction.
Oh, without a doubt. And this is what...
But what I was going to say was you can understand sort of why people join a cult. And also people generally who join a cult said, I did not know I was joining a cult. Because who decides to join a cult? They didn't think of it as a cult, right? They thought of it as a religion, or in that case, it was a way of self-improvement, blah, 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 blah. But there still is some responsibility, I think quite a lot, to the people who join a cult. Because it is still basically handing over the keys to your life to someone else. And it is eschewing responsibility of making your own decisions and finding your own good and finding your own happiness or success or helping. And it's basically going, I want to be in that childlike state where my parents are telling me what to do and they give me praise, so I'm going to give that power to someone else.
Yeah,
you can't just blame the charismatic leader.
Well, this is where which we have to come back to. But on this point alone, this is where I would like to be in a cult. However, if I was the cult leader, what I would do, I'd be like, in this cult, you have to make all the decisions for me. You have to decide. Like,
so you want the cult to make every decision for you?
Me as the leader, that they make my decisions, because
so hang on, you're the leader of a cult, but you're getting your people to make your decisions for you. That's not how it works.
I know, but this is the thing. This is the beauty of it, because
it's not a cult of stupidity.
Yes. That's exactly what it is. One of the hardest things in life for me is decision making process. Like, which is the best? Am I doing it in terms of parenting? You want the best for your child. Yeah. You've got two approaches: really get in, or really maybe step back. And if someone was making those decisions for you, I think they could give you three options, for example, and then you just choose one option. Yeah, that's my cult. Secondly,
I think you're a cult member there. You're not a cult leader.
No, I'd be the leader.
How could you be the leader? You're not going to round up many people by going, right, I'm not going to help you in any way. Oh, no, I'm not even offering that.
No.
But you need to help me.
Through that decision-making process, they will have an enlightenment. They will have, oh, wow, I knew that. They will find their own wisdom, their own truth by helping me out.
By helping you. Okay.
Also, there will be lots of potatoes involved on any given occasion.
Okay, well, obviously you're a big fan of potatoes.
And toilets everywhere. I mean, everywhere. I'm talking about lining out Westgate.
The cult of toilets and potatoes. Again, I'm not quite sure you've quite got the idea of how a cult works.
But I think it might work for me.
Well,
and I think
good luck signing people up
there's
to
a joy
that.
in that. Well, let's go back to what you just said, though, to remind me, because I was also going to make a more serious point on that.
When I was talking about how people need to take a little bit of their own responsibility for joining a cult?
Yes,
assuming their responsibilities.
Absolutely. Now,
and handing over the keys to your own life.
This is
I believe what I said.
This is the problem. This is where I find this problematic, because is someone accountable when they have been coerced? Because legally they're not. So, like, generally, I think in legal cases,
it depends.
Well, I think when I've been looking things up, it does say, like, in a court of law, generally, brainwashing is not seen as a defence. So if it's two consenting adults, this is a very area that we can only touch on because it's very, very tricky. But if two consenting adults agree to something, yet one feels like they've been coerced into something, or coerced or brainwashed, or like they talked about having in the vow, having the
they were branded,
the branding done, and the women doing it really felt they were doing it for the greater good, or suggested. So are they accountable? I mean, this is a really unanswerable question, so forgive me, but are they
I'll never forgive you.
I strive for that one day, every day. Maybe one day they'll one day you'll forgive me. But
maybe one day. If you work hard enough and put on the robes that I've given you, okay, do everything that I say, one day you will reach enlightenment and forgiveness.
Of the Church of Rebecca Elliott.
We're not a cult.
No, so yeah, are they accountable for their actions? And how do we make them accountable? Also, how do you prove?
Well, I think
how
they
do you
are a bit
prove that they
accountable.
didn't know, though? How do you prove that?
Well, I know.
It's tricky, mate.
It is tricky, but I don't think you can just claim brainwashing. I know. I get what one of the cult members in the vow said, which she said, obviously, when you talk about how we were like, I mean, they were branded by a hot freaking laser next to their cult.
Yeah.
Sorry. It's not funny. Well, you knew if we were going to do cults this week, there was going to,
I know. You've got to be careful when you type cult into the search engine, let me tell you that. Yeah.
No, anyway, what was I saying? So they were branded, right? And so she's like, well, if you find out that I've been branded, then obviously, you're going to go, what on earth were you thinking joining this, like, horrific cult that's going to brand you and make you do, But she said it's like, it's putting the frog in a pan of water.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just gently heating up. It's that
they
good
don't know,
analogy. You don't notice until it's too far.
You can't see the wood for the trees, mate.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't think you needed to bring another analogy into it. I had the analogy, okay, which was a much better one. The frog heating up, and then before he knows it, he's boiling. Okay. Yeah. You don't have to put him in the middle of a woods as well. It's just unnecessarily confusing.
Well, then he's really confused because he's in hot water.
I'm in the woods. I'm in a pan of water. What's going on? Nobody feels like a nice hot tub.
Yeah.
Before you know it, you've been branded next to your cult.
Don't Laugh But has been described as an essential service by literally no one. Yet, here they are, back anyway.
Yeah, I think, yeah. It is, but it isn't life slightly culty.
Explain. I mean, you can't just say something like that and then go like, boom! I nailed it!
I was hoping I had.
I think all our relationships, there are hints.
Well, you talk about the marriage. You talk about the marriage, for example, right? There is this phenomenon.
Say it again.
Phenomenon.
Phenomenon.
I don't know if it's a phenomenon, but there are some.
Say it again. Every time you say it, it's different.
Phenomenon. There
is this phenomenon. Yeah.
There's some women who are in relationships with men, sometimes of their choosing, where he is called the HOH, right?
HOH.
Head of household. And she is a submissive. And every decision is made by him.
Yeah.
And if she goes out of those boundaries of what his rules are, she is punished.
This is called the cult of domesticity, I believe.
It's exactly what it's called. It's not called, it's called domestic dispute or something like that.
Is it?
Yeah.
I think I had it with the cult of domesticity.
I'd quite like to be in that cult because I'm after just clean. I'm going to clean.
Yeah, is that all I've got to do? No, you see, yes, I do agree that has certain culty.
It does.
Similarities, but equally that's because we've been indoctrined into the whole domesticity thing for centuries, isn't it? So that's kind of different.
Not really. Well, it is, but it has in that he's the leader.
Yeah.
Right? She's a submissive because in cults, all of the followers are submissive to the leader.
Sure.
So it has that, and it has the consequence of if you don't, like I utterly, from all the research I've done this morning, that a cult.
All the research I've done this morning.
All the research.
An all expert would go, I've been researching this for decades. It's been my life's work.
I've done 2 hours.
All the research I've done this morning, right?
Well, I think, but all of it, it just leads you to know that religion and cults are very different. They are very different beasts.
Yes, yeah.
They have similarities in that there's a higher power, there's an object. Also, in cults, there's this one cult, right, that I watched this documentary on, and he wore gold pants all the time.
What, the leader of the cult?
The leader of the cult.
Actual gold pants? They'd be really heavy.
No. Just dripping in gold. No, I think gold's quite light, isn't it?
Oh, it's really heavy. Imagine having solid gold pants.
Well, anyway, they were more like lycra, and he wore them all the time.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
And people thought, that's a guy who knows what he's doing in life.
Well, it was
Look, he's wearing gold lycra pants.
know what?
What doesn't he know?
It was similar to Nexium.
Was it? Like a self-helpy thing.
And that Keith, I think you should never...
Keith was you have to explain.
Keith was the leader of Nexium.
Okay.
You really should never, ever follow anyone called Keith. I just don't think... It's not a name. Like, if he was called Lazarus, I might think about it.
Okay.
I think all cult leaders should be called Lazarus from now on.
Okay.
We've got to talk about QAnon, mate.
Well, yes, I was going to talk about there is a very big crossover between conspiracy theories and cults.
Boom.
Very big crossover.
This is
And
exactly
one of
where I
the biggest
wanted
things
to go.
which cults and conspiracy theories will say is basically never listen to the other facts.
Yeah. They're all wrong.
Other facts, exactly.
Yeah. Or
Don't-
the facts.
And you have the knowledge.
The facts.
Yeah, the actual facts. You have the knowledge, other people don't.
Yes.
And you're in on something. So you feel like you're part of a gang, a group, which is the same as cults, same as conspiracy
It's creating
theories.
a them and us.
You are in the know. Other people aren't, and they
Absolutely.
can't possibly. And they will try and come at you with facts, but those facts are wrong. They're not facts. We have the actual facts. We have the actual truth. And what's weird or interesting about things like QAnon is it's a cult based on believing there's an existence of another cult. So
Yes,
they
you're right,
believe
it
there is a
is.
cult of, evil Democrats, evil powerful Democrats who are satanic and run this paedophile ring. Okay. So they believe in the existence of that, which is, if that did exist, would basically be a cult, right? But in believing that, they become their own cult.
But what's up?
And the QAnon stuff is very culty.
Well, did you
If
know?
if you go down that rabbit
Well,
hole,
I went
it's
down it.
scary.
I went down it today, and they had me until they said, right. They didn't have me.
I was going to say, did they?
They've never had me. I've never been part of QAnon.
No.
I don't agree with any of it. I mean, they've said it like Ellen DeGeneres says it.
Yeah. What?
Ellen DeGeneres. I can't say Ellen.
Oh, Ellen.
Lovely
yeah,
Ellen.
Just say Ellen. Ellen. You went a bit drunk halfway through.
So they also said, right?
Yeah.
They also said these people, right, this sounds like a fairy tale. They capture children and they torture them in order to extract a substance, which is called something. It's a hormone of children, apparently. A substance which gives
You
them...
mean substance? You're giving it an extra syllable.
Substance.
Yeah.
Substance.
Just throw in an extra syllable.
Substance. Are you sure that's not substance?
Substance.
Substance. Substance. So they capture children and torture them in order to extract a substance which gives them eternal youthfulness.
Is this like a sort of Hans
It
Christian
is.
Andersen sort of
It is.
fairy tale of evil?
It is. It's like, bite the apple, dear. Bite the apple, dear.
Yeah.
You know, like... So they're saying not only...
The apple deer. Why is the deer there?
Well,
You'd be a really rubbish witch in some fairy tale.
I
Bite the apple, dear. Go on. Bite it, dear. That's it. Shut up, you weirdo. Standing on the street, get me to buy an apple.
I imagine...
And you've just shut yourself. Go look at it.
I imagine a witch would say dear. I imagine her, bite the apple, dear.
Oh, that was quite good.
And then listen, bite the apple. The deer adds something, doesn't it, now?
Yeah, maybe it does.
You're regretting your choices for mocking the deer.
Sorry, you're absolutely
Bite
right.
the apple, dear.
Yeah.
Anyway, so what I'm saying to that point is...
Was there a point?
There was a point that they've literally said this is happening. So
Yes.
they're saying... And also, right, what's interesting is, right, the whole pizza connection. So Prince Andrew said...
Pizzagate.
Prince Andrew said he was having pizza when he was accused of doing things on the island with Epstein.
You're making a link.
Hillary Clinton is apparently meant to run her paedophile ring out of a pizza restaurant.
Isn't that the one that some bloke who believed in it went in with a shotgun?
I believe
it was supposed to happen in the basement of the pizza restaurant.
Yes,
He
right.
went in there, didn't even have a basement, but he shot up everyone anyway.
Gosh. So it's like, but what I find interesting about this, how it's become part of our language. I have people who are Republicans who I love very much, who have said, yeah, well, Joe Biden's a paedophile, without any basis of information.
Yeah.
Like,
it's taken as a fact.
Like, I'm not saying, of course, there are people who do horrendous things. And I'm sure some of them are very powerful. Clearly, it came out with Epstein. But Epstein had a lot of money and he couldn't keep it covered. I'm thinking that at some point, I would hope that there was enough people to investigate stuff that these things would come out. But I just think...
As with a cult, these things are drip-fed. It's little... It is. It's little breadcrumbs towards what they want you to believe is the truth. Mm-hmm. So if you're just told outright, oh, well, there's a paedophile ring and it's satanic, then most people would have gone, what? No. But it's drip fed, so it's like, you need to go and look here. And so the whole QAnon thing, who is a made up person, just gives little clues. Because that's what you'd do, wouldn't you? If you knew there was a paedophile ring where children were getting, then you'd just give out clues.
Yeah.
That's what you'd do. If you
Let's
had
not
all
protect
the facts,
the children,
right? And you could go and stop it right now and go and arrest people and point everyone in the right direction. You just go, just follow the clues. No. What are people thinking?
That's not what the police do, is it?
No, they don't. Just give each other clues, little tiny. Just have a look at that website. See what you think. See if that might lead you somewhere else.
Exactly.
There's no rush here.
No, exactly. Yeah.
No urgency.
There's no right.
Is it possible to stop looking at your phone?
No, I've got
playing with it.
I've got information on my phone.
Have you?
I've got information.
Is it relevant?
Pertinent. Yes, my research.
Go on then.
Well, I want to talk about QAnon, like how it's become, like, say, part of, and also.
But the fact that something, as crazy as that can get in the main news, could be a part of the most recent election in the US. I mean, something so clearly insane can be affecting so many hundreds of thousands of people, and the future of, America is just, it's mind-boggling.
Well, this is where I think we need
people.
Well, this is where I think we need to be careful with our use of language, right? I'm not saying that what you're saying isn't true. Everything you just said, I believe wholeheartedly about something so extreme as that. However,
well, you'd better, because you get punished if you don't believe what I say.
I'll be bending over the pool table later. I think it doesn't make it any better if I say I was thinking about you spanking me.
No, that doesn't improve it, Kirst.
So sorry.
Paddling.
So what I'm saying is that I try to say, what if it's a bit true? Like I really, because I know what you mean. I've got no desire to go, that's 100% wrong.
Grains of truth in everything.
Well, this is the thing,
that is
you
how
see.
cults get you. I mean, at the beginning of every cult has grains of truth and things that's genuinely helpful.
Totally, and I think that if we hit back with, no, you're wrong, then it just adds a dialogue that isn't helpful. So if we go, okay, right, I hear you on this. I hear that. And I really want to be open to everything. That's why I literally do believe in everything. Because I believe in it.
Because you can't be bothered to decide what to believe in.
That could be true. Could be true.
Then I don't have to think about anything.
Could be true. Like fairies could be true. Like that we talked about in the other podcast. They could be true. And what does it matter if they are or not? Like the flat earthers.
Because then I'm best mates with someone who believes in fairies. That's why it matters.
But like the flat earthers,
Makes
right?
me a nutter by association.
The flat earthers. What harm are they doing? I'm not saying.
Oh, I know what you mean. They're not doing any harm.
I just think, yes, with QAnon, we've got to go. No, we can't have that, because I think the risk of danger, the risk of
Well, and also the fact that they're saying such nasty things about like Obama and stuff.
Oh, it's a car outside.
There's a car outside. You went like a dog then. Your head went on its side. Squirrel.
I thought my headphones. I know. And Tom Hanks. I believe they said Tom Hanks is in. Now, nobody Rebecca Elliott.
Not on my watch. You don't diss Tom Hanks.
No.
Not the Hankster.
I think I'm wanting to say they might have said Will Smith is, and if they have, I mean, Will Smith is literally my, he's my guru.
Yeah.
What would Will Smith
And he
do?
thinks of you very much the same way, I believe.
That's what I've heard, mate. That's what I've heard. Oh, so gangs, because I've been thinking our gangs are same as...
Yeah, I guess they work in a similar way, yeah.
Well, they do, but there's no bigger ideology.
No.
That's the fundamental difference between a gang. So you've got the gang... They are the same. The problem...
And the thing is, gangs watered down. We all had that peer pressure. As teenagers, you have the peer pressure when you want to fit in.
Yeah.
So a lot of like the being in a cult kind of goes. Gangs obviously an extension of that.
Yes, exactly.
We all do want to belong to something.
Totally, and there's a safety aspect to gangs. There's that. It's about,
protection.
But the similarities are there's them and us. If you leave a cult,
yeah,
we've all seen the Scientology documentaries where they're like followed by cameras, and like NXIVM, they were really financially really hurting people because they had so much money behind them.
Absolutely. Yeah, that is a very good, stark difference between a religion and a cult.
That's exactly what I was about to say.
If you stop going to the Church of England, you're not going to have
one's going to hound you,
following you around.
No, going, come on. Sure you don't want to do it, mate? Sunday morning, 2 hours.
Yeah.
I'll change your life. It's just not going to happen. And I don't think with a religion that it says we have the answers necessarily.
Yeah.
I think it says we can show you a way to be different, maybe, or to have a connection with God. But I'm not sure it's necessarily saying we have the answers to life. I'm saying that some people do say that Jesus does have all of the answers. But interestingly, the people who do really believe that Jesus has all the answers, some of them believe that Trump has all the answers. So that's kind of an interesting...
Yeah, because I don't think Jesus and Trump would get on.
No, I don't think Jesus and Trump would get on either. Also, I think it's easy to go, well, they're just crazy. And I think we have a tendency on both sides to do that. Or they're just crazy in that thinking. Actually,
I don't think that's true.
No,
I think that's
it's
why
unhealthy.
it is interesting watching documentaries like The Vow.
Yeah.
Where you do see that these people are decent people. Intelligent, decent people.
Without a doubt.
Who did just get sucked into this horrible way of thinking in a very, very drawn out, because it went over a year, like 12 years they were in it or whatever.
Yeah, there's nothing
that worked for them for the first few years. And they did genuinely good things for society.
And for themselves. They stopped anxiety.
And for women. And it all started off quite...
I think what they all want is to be seen. And I think we can change that now socially if we just start to see people, to really hear people, right? And what I don't mean is, I just mean give someone a bit of an acknowledgement of time, a bit of a smile maybe, and a bit of a feeling like people are validated. I think because the world is so fast now, people's stories get missed, people's lives get missed. And I think they look to those external things for meaning. Tim Minchin talks about how really, what if there isn't any meaning in life? Well, if we are just here for this fleeting moment and that's enough, and it's becoming comfortable in the uncomfortableness. What if that is true? Yeah. And I think actually that has a beauty in it within itself.
Well, that goes back to just being. And actually one of the top bods in the Vow, in NXIVM, the actress.
Yeah, Sarah.
I can't remember her name. No, the actress who's like second in command, who's been arrested.
Oh gosh, yeah, I knew.
From Smallville.
Yeah.
I mean, she hasn't spoken out because she's very much still a big believer in NXIVM.
Well, we assume so. We assume so. We don't know so, but
fine, wasn't really my point. One of her...
Don't want to get sued, but they've got lots of money.
Like they care what we said.
Don't know.
One of her explanations, well, not explanations, when she was describing early on why NXIVM had really helped her.
Sure.
She was saying, so I was an actress, successful actress. Is it Smallville she was in and something else? Anyway,
something like that.
And she said, I was playing these like really moral, like good characters. She said, but it's easy to do that because you give it a script. But outside of that, she was just left with these like, how do I become the good person that I'm playing? How do I actually do that? And again, there's a myth that we have to be constantly trying to be the good moral person, doing good all the time, being massively successful.
That's too much pressure in that.
We bang on about all the time. But does a lot of the people who join that, it seemed to come out of just this desperate need that every moment must matter. We must be doing something good, and I need to be, be seen to be doing something amazing with my life.
Without a doubt.
No, you don't. No. Just be mediocre and be happy, mate.
Absolutely. And I think This week I've done absolutely nothing. You know, I've done a few things of merit, but I've really just stayed in the house. You know, booking acts for Comedy Mug, did little bits and bobs, you know.
Well, when you go out, you shoot yourself, so it's best to stay.
Best to stay. But what I think that shows me is I am utterly content with just kind of doing nothing. And it really is enough. That's actually the thing for me. That's the bigger picture, is that there's always paradoxes, and the bigger picture knows the answers. We don't need to know them here. That's our ego trying to, us, our brains go, well, I need to understand it. And that's the trouble with cults, is they make it black and white. They wrap it up into a neat package.
Yeah, this is
I
the
have
only
the answers.
way to do
And
it.
it's
I
just,
have the answers.
Life is way more nuanced, way more complex. Can I end this point in saying that when I, again... My husband's been really listening to all of our Don't Last Buts. He's gone into the back catalogue. Because he's
not listened before.
He's listened on and off, but he's just addicted now.
So he's in our cult now too.
He is now in our cult, which
Fully
all the butters should
indoctrinated.
be, you know. But what one thing I loved that he said was, I love how, Kirsty, you just appear to be so intelligent. And I love that. I just
Firstly, do you? Secondly, clever editing.
yeah, but I love that he said, I appear to be, not that you are intelligent. You just appear it. Like, he knows the truth underneath it.
Really well.
He knows the truth underneath it. Or there's literally a vacuum of me going,
with either of us.
I don't know.
No.
Maybe. Okay. You know, so I think that's kind of all I've got to say about cults. But I mean, I think, is there anything else you feel you needed to be
not really. I had other notes, can't be bothered.
No, I think it's enough, mate, because I think there are better documentaries on it than ours.
Oh, many.
There's so many. Watch Louis Theroux's Scientology, my Scientology story.
Yeah.
You know, next theme is really, The Vow was really fascinating. It's going to be The Vow 2, which I hope will give me more answers.
Of curiosity.
That's it. Can I tell you, I think there's lots of positivity on me jingles.
Is there? Because I've literally had no decent feedback on your jingles at all.
Well, my husband likes them.
Good old Darren. Yeah.
Come on.
I saw him working out in the field the other day.
Well,
it looked like Santa warming up for the Christmas run.
Yes, it's what he's doing right now. He's getting ready. Getting ready to
Yeah,
go.
there was a lot of small children getting excited there. Right.
Yeah.
Crevice of curiosity. Mm-hmm. Yeah? Are you listening or are you looking at your phone?
Look at my phone. Come on.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Rebecca Elliott's Crevice of Curiosity.
I've got a few things here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure any of them are particularly interesting. No, studies have found that right side sleepers experience more positive dreams and fewer nightmares than left side sleepers.
Oh, I'm a left side sleeper.
If you sleep on your right, you get more positive dreams. And I've sort of been testing that this week, and I think it might be true. I can go either way.
Which side?
Also, I can sleep on either side. But I do find if I sleep, I generally sleep on my right.
Do you?
Yeah. And obviously, I'm a very positive person.
You are. God.
But yeah, so try that this week.
Oh, well, I toss and turn. Very. So
in that order.
Yeah. Which side? So I like to lay on my left because otherwise I'm looking at my husband.
Wow.
I love sleep. You know. From first-hand experience that I like to sleep on the edge of the bed, away from anyone.
I do not know that from first-hand bloody experience. But yeah, you like to sleep away from even Darren.
I'm not a snuggler.
Oh.
I'm not, mate. I'm quite cold in bed. So sorry.
Well, we'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
Doppelgangers.
Oh.
I was reading a little bit about doppelgangers this week.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently they reckon on average between 7 and 10 doppelgangers for you.
For me?
Living right now. Although you've got... It depends on how, intricate your face is and how unusual.
Well, it's my
I can't imagine there's another one for you out there. But yeah, isn't that interesting? And if you go on the internet, look, loads of people have run into their own doppelgangers, and it is extraordinary. I had two blokes on a plane that just kind of met and went, oh my goodness, you look exactly like me. And then they happen to be checking into the same hotel. There's I think it's on board.com or whatever. There's 50 stories of doppelgangers literally running into each other.
No
and
way.
It is freakish. But apparently for an exact match of your face, it's like a 1 in a trillion chance So that's not going to happen.
So similar.
Similar.
But
And
very
mostly
similar.
when we look at a face, we just kind of take a sum of the parts. Our brain doesn't look at everything. It just takes a little kind of general scan.
Oh.
So this kind of doppelganger, we're talking about kind of when you do a double take and go, is that?
Oh.
But yeah, I just thought that I'd quite like to meet a doppelganger.
Have you seen like on when they do on Graham Norton and they have like the man from Harry Potter and they show him like in different places in history?
No.
Oh, man.
Oh yes, no, I haven't seen that on Graham Norton, but I have seen that. Yes,
It's hilarious.
his face does. Yeah,
like
Daniel Radcliffe.
Thank you. And you see that to me proves we've lived before, mate.
No, it proves that the chances are that our faces will look like quite a lot of other faces.
No, but his face.
Particularly if you have a Daniel Radcliffe face, which is quite plain.
I wouldn't really.
Yeah. Without the little round glasses, it's nothing. There's nothing there. I mean, he's not bad looking. That's what I'm saying. He's just like it's a sort of standard face, isn't it? If you were to draw a face, it would probably look like Daniel Radcliffe.
I've got my Woman of Wonder if you're ready.
Go on. We'll put the jingle in here.
Women of Wonder, wonder of women. Women of Wonder, wonderful women. Go, woman.
Go.
So mine is Amelia Bloomer, also known as Amelia Dress.
Also noon.
Look at this. The
Amelia Bloomer.
she was an American woman's right advocate, right?
Woman's rights advocate.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just
Not
one
that she was
right.
a right advocate of what?
Women.
A woman is the right old advocate.
Her middle name was Jenks, which was her birth name. That's quite common in America. Did you know that? To call yourself, so I'd be called Kirsty Wheeler Hudson. So, not double-barreled though. Just that's your middle name.
That's what I've done to Benji.
Have you?
He's Benjamin Lee Elliott.
Well done.
Thanks. I mean, I thought that was of note.
Yeah.
You just went, well done, and then just sort of rolled your eyes.
That's good. So, so she didn't create. You might think at this point, Rebecca Elliott, that she created bloomers.
That's exactly what I was thinking
Yep.
at this point.
No,
Did
you
she
won't.
not?
No, she didn't. But she did inspire the name. In her work, her husband had a newspaper and she decided it didn't have enough women's content. So she went off and created a newspaper called The Lily, which is all about women's. Operate and edit a newspaper for women.
When was this?
Oh gosh, this was she was born in 1894, dear. So this was
1894.
yeah, she did this in like the 1920s. So it was a very, very thing. And so at that time, women were wearing like tight corsets, vests. She just went, no. You would have loved her because she said, let's wear trousers.
Oh,
she was the women that just said, why can't we wear trousers?
Yeah.
And that was such a big deal at the time. So she would also have elasticated waists. She never wore anything tight. She was just always interested in how women presented in the world.
Yeah.
And she said, just wear trousers, be comfortable. She wanted women to feel comfortable and secure, but to have their own choice in what they wore. And without her, we would still be wearing corsets, I believe.
Wow.
So she really changed things up for women. She just made...
So then bloomers were named after her.
Bloomers were named after because they're obviously baggy, elasticated, comfortable.
I'd like a pair of bloomers.
Yeah. Would you wear them under something or just wear them?
I'd just wear them.
Yeah.
Nothing else.
I often have that dream that I am wearing just a t-shirt and nothing else on the street.
Do you?
Oh, it's
Well, no, just a t-shirt.
just a t-shirt.
Because wearing no bottoms is much ruder than being naked, isn't
It
it?
is.
Somehow.
Especially if it's just big.
Oh, yeah.
Just there. There is a certain group of men, and I do believe Hugh Grant talked about it on Graham Norton. Again, I'm bringing Graham into the conversation quite often.
Oh, yeah.
But his brother goes to bed in just a t-shirt, no underwear. Like a man should never do that. A woman can kind of get away with it. Well, yeah, a woman can kind of get away with it.
Okay.
Oh, so you
What?
your foo-foo out.
Don't call it a foo-foo, come on.
I've never called it a foo-foo in my life. Every time I say vulva...
So it's just your name for mine? It's way worse.
But every time I say vulva, I just think of a Volvo. So I get confused.
Yeah.
I'm sticking with vagina.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't think we've even discussed the whole vagina vulva thing on here. Did we? Did we discuss that? We're all using the wrong word for it.
Yeah.
We did discuss that.
Yeah, no, I don't think we have, but we don't think we have. I mean, I keep saying it to my children. They are not loving it.
We're all using the wrong word for it.
I
It's
know.
just ridiculous.
I know,
and it shouldn't be rude.
it shouldn't be rude.
Ladies, what you think of as your vagina is your vulva. Get used to it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that.
Okay, are we done with vulvas?
Yeah, but what would you think of a man just wearing a t-shirt and nothing else up to bed? I would be not enjoying
I
it.
think that's fine.
What, a man wears a t-shirt?
Yes. In bed? Yeah, I mean, not walking around. Of course. What's wrong with that?
I'm happy with naked. I've got no qualms with naked.
Well, if you want to, if you're a little bit cold, you want an extra layer, you want a t-shirt on.
Then you think, oh. I would be shocked that any other bits would be out at that point.
You're such a prude. Oh, so you'd look at Darren from the head down, you go, fine, t-shirt. Oh my God, he's not got any bottoms on. It would be shocking. Okay.
It would.
You need a heads up for that. If he's not wearing a top, you go, okay, well, I know what to expect.
Yes.
Okay.
I need to. Come
Seems
on.
underhand somehow.
It's called.
As it were.
It's called Winnie the Pooh.
What? What is?
Wearing a t-shirt with no pants. Because he.
Oh, okay. I thought you took about your neighbour Darren's bits. So can I just do a little tiny callback to last week, just quickly?
Yes.
So last week we were talking about the song that Germans sing.
Oh
to
yeah,
their
the
kids
scary. No,
about,
the Swedish.
Yeah, about
song.
like the Swedes will come and get you, which harked back to some
Yes, mate. Yes.
big war in the 16th century. Anyway, my German friend Silke confirmed that, and the song is called, and I really can't say it, Maikäfer Flieg. Okay,
Yep.
so that's fine. But that then got me and Silke on to talking about movie titles in German. And I just want to give you a few of these because they are delightful.
I love Angela Merkel.
That's not a movie title or relevant. Your brain's just gone, German. What do you know that's German? I love Angela Merkel. Have you got a poster of her up on your wall?
Yes. She's framed in my kitchen.
Are you in the cult of Angela?
I'd love to.
Who ironically isn't very angular. Anyway, so, right.
I love her.
Dodgeball is, the literal translation of that is straight in the balls, which is Wolf auf dem Nuss. Okay.
I love that.
The Twilight Saga is also worth looking at because, you've got like Breaking Dawn. Breaking Dawn is called Bite at Dawn.
Oh, Bite
And then New Moon, the middle one, is called Bite till lunchtime. And then Eclipse is called Bite till the evening sky turns red. It just sounds more like a food programme.
Bite till the evening sky goes red.
Yeah.
Of course.
And the Holy Grail is called the Knights of the Coconut, which in German is delightful because it's Die Ritter der Kokosnuss.
Oh.
Sorry about the pronunciation, Silke.
German is
Die
brilliant.
Hard is called Die Slowly, which sounds like a really dull film. It's a slow death.
Tragic.
And lastly, Airplane is called The Unbelievable Journey in a Crazy Airplane, which in German, and you're going to like this, is Die unglaublich Reisen in einen verrückten Flugzeug. Oh, it's such a sexy language, isn't it?
Right, I think we've done really well today.
Let's wrap it up. Have we?
We've done really well. I've enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I was really nervous about it.
Yeah.
Didn't need to be.
Well, I think you did need a little bit. I think maybe if you've been a bit more nervous, then it might have, the adrenaline might have kicked in.
I thoroughly enjoyed it. I think we did good.
Yeah, no, we did good.
Let them be the judge of that.
Yeah, no, I'd rather they weren't.
Don't judge
We'll
us.
be the judge of us. Thank you.
Don't judge us.
No.
Love you.
Yeah, and you.
Be well. Oh, thank you. You're telling me. I was talking to the butters, but
know.
love you too, Rebecca. It's always a joy.
That went wrong.
Always. I'm going to just end on this. Colts, do it or don't. I would suggest don't on this.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
Just don't.
Mm-hmm. Have a good week, people.
If Keith comes knocking, keep that door closed.
Okay, I mean, it would be better if that was rhymed or something.
Works.
Keith comes a knocking, keep this van a rocking doesn't work, though.
If Keith comes a knocking,
we'll think of that for next week.
don't
Right.
answer. It just works.
Okay. all
Maybe.
right, okay.
Love you. Bye now.
Have a good week and wrap up warm.
Oh, love ya.
Bye.
Bye.
This is Don't Laugh But, the podcast that incessantly rambles on and ultimately answers the question, what's worse than the silent loneliness of self-isolation?